Hey there, Hollywood's elite are wizards at keeping their private lives locked away. But what goes down when top-tier stars fall in love and manage to hide it for years? One Academy Award winner was secretly betrothed to a music legend while sharing a home with his teenage daughter. Another megastar concealed her wedding ring inside her clothing for 3 years. And one renowned actress quietly romanced both a mother and her daughter from the same family, with no one the wiser. These weren't just rumors or brief hookups. These were genuine, heartfelt connections that stayed under wraps until someone finally let the cat out of the bag. Let's kick things off with Nicole Kidman and Lenny Kravitz. In 2002, Nicole was staying in Lenny's $8 million Manhattan apartment while her own New York place was being renovated. At first, it seemed like a simple housing arrangement, but something ignited behind those walls that stayed buried for over 14 years. Nicole and Lenny fell deeply in love while living together, keeping it so hush-hush they'd arrive at events separately, leave at different times, and never hinted at their bond in public. By 2003, Nicole was spotted wearing a massive engagement ring, but she dismissed it as non-romantic. Something wasn't adding up. The truth? They were engaged. What's even more jaw-dropping is that Lenny's daughter, Zoe Kravitz, just 13 at the time, was living there too. Years later, Zoe shared that Nicole was like a stepmom, taking her to movies and showing real kindness. Here's the wild part. Nicole later co-starred with Zoe in Big Little Lies, having once been her near stepmother. Zoe never forgot those moments. In 2003, US Weekly broke the news of their engagement, but both Nicole and Lenny denied it. Nicole's team put out a vague statement saying, "He's very important to her." And that was that. By Thanksgiving 2003, it was over. Nicole later confessed she wasn't ready. Her heart still with her kids, Connor and Isabella, from her marriage to Tom Cruise. The secret stayed hidden until February 2017, when Nicole casually told Porter magazine, "I knew Zoe because I was engaged to her father." It stunned everyone. No one had heard her say it aloud before. Even Zoe was caught off guard, saying, "I think she forgot that no one knew that." After all those years, the truth slipped out, completely changing how people viewed both women. Next, Cara Delevingne and Michelle Rodriguez. Their romance set the tabloids ablaze in early 2014, starting on January 7th at a Detroit Pistons vs. New York Knicks game at Madison Square Garden. Forget the game. Everyone's eyes were on Cara and Michelle. Courtside, they were kissing, laughing, puffing e-cigarettes, and even throwing high kicks. But the real shocker wasn't their PDA. It was Michelle, totally wasted, so out of it that onlookers felt embarrassed for her. One witness said, "Michelle was so sloppy, it was painful to watch." Cara had to grab her drink away at one point. Michelle was 35, Cara 21, a 14-year age gap that didn't bother them. In February 2014, Michelle told the Daily Mirror they were officially dating, saying, "It's going really well. She's so cool. She's tough, though. You wouldn't want to mess with her in a fight." They seemed inseparable, jet-setting and partying, always caught by cameras. But by mid-2014, it unraveled fast. Michelle couldn't cope with Cara's constant hangouts with stars like Amber Heard, Suki Waterhouse, Kristen Stewart, and Rihanna. It wasn't just jealousy, she was exhausted. The final blow came when Cara's sister, Poppy, got married. Michelle was invited but refused to go, and that ended it. In 2015, Michelle admitted she couldn't keep a relationship going past 6 months. It was just her vibe, intense and short-lived. Her fling with Cara was a tornado that vanished as quickly as it arrived. But for a few months in 2014, it was the talk of the town. Then there's Britney Spears and Colin Farrell. After Justin Timberlake shattered her heart in 2002 with a text message breakup and moved on to 6 or 7 other women, per Britney's own words, she was desperate for something to make her feel alive. Still reeling in early 2003, she met Irish actor Colin Farrell through a club promoter while he was filming SWAT. What followed was a short, chaotic chapter she never forgot. Britney called it not romantic, but a brawl, saying, "They were all over each other, holding and grabbing and kissing like they were fighting in the street. The passion was wild. She even visited him on set. It wasn't a one-night stand. There was something raw and real in the intensity." But things got awkward at the Recruit premiere in February 2003. Britney showed up in what she thought was a stylish top, only to realize it was a La Perla pajama shirt with metal studs. She stood by Colin, smiling for cameras, thinking they were a couple. But when reporters asked him about her, he said, "We're not dating. She's a sweet, sweet girl. There's nothing going on, just mates." Britney left the event the moment the cameras stopped, crushed by the public rejection. It got worse. Colin sent her a t-shirt reading, "I slept with Colin Farrell, and all I got was this lousy t-shirt." That stung. Still healing from Timberlake, Britney felt like a punchline. She later told W Magazine she'd kissed Colin, calling him the cutest, hottest thing in the world, but admitted it meant little. She was still broken. The 2-week fling fizzled as fast as it sparked, leaving her feeling isolated again. Ryan Gosling and Eva Mendes. Most assumed they met in 2011 on The Place Beyond the Pines, but in 2024, Eva told the Drew Barrymore show they actually met years earlier on a plane. That random encounter laid the groundwork long before their on-screen chemistry. The big reveal came in November 2022 when Eva, during an Australian TV interview, called Ryan her husband, confirming a marriage no one knew about. They'd kept it secret for over a decade, with no public wedding or announcement. The only clue was Eva's de Gosling wrist tattoo. Eva quit acting after their 2012 film, saying, "Working with Ryan Gosling was such a career high. I was like, this is a good time to Seinfeld it, and just walk out." She chose family over fame and never looked back. They raised their daughters, Esmeralda Amata, 10, and Amata Lee, 8, far from Hollywood spotlight. Homeschooled, no smartphones or social media. Eva said letting kids online is like sending them out alone at night. They even moved out of LA to keep their girls away from celebrity culture. Margot Robbie and Tom Ackerly's story began in 2013 on the set of Sweet Francaise. He was a third assistant director. She was rising after The Wolf of Wall Street. Their romance wasn't a polished Hollywood tale. It was raw and messy. In 2014, Margot convinced Tom and 5 friends to share a house in Clapham, London, 7 film folks under one roof. But Margot and Tom hid that they'd started dating. When it came out, it was explosive. Margot said, "Shit hit the fan. Our house turned into the Jerry Springer show for a moment." People screamed. Some felt betrayed, fearing the group would implode. They pulled through, and in December 2016, they married in Byron Bay, Australia, with 50 guests, no paparazzi, just pizza, barbecue, and chocolate cereal instead of cake. Margot wore a shirt at Gold Coast Airport saying, "Say I do down under." The only hint. They skipped a honeymoon to work on Tanya in freezing Atlanta. Margot said, "We did this film instead of our honeymoon." They didn't hit a red carpet together until fall 2017, nearly a year after their wedding. Kerry Washington and Nnamdi Asomugha tied the knot on June 24, 2013, in Haley, Idaho, with top-secret precision. They got their marriage license and held the ceremony the same day, shocking even her Scandal co-stars. One source said, "We had no idea about the wedding." Kerry later revealed she hid her engagement ring by pinning it to her undergarments for 3 years, sleeping with it, and hiding it daily on set to keep things private. Both were at their peaks. She starred in a massive TV show. He was on Sports Illustrated with a record-breaking NFL contract. They dated a year without anyone noticing. Their wedding was at a friend's house, with only immediate family and close friends flown in on a private plane. Nnamdi's sister, Minister Chizorakwu Asomugha, officiated. Kerry wore a slim-fitting plain white gown, described as really regular. Their honeymoon was on a remote Zanzibar island, no press in sight. Kerry collected seashells, still treasuring them as memories of her happiest days. Ryan Reynolds and Scarlett Johansson's marriage was a whirlwind, September 2008 to December 2010. Scarlett was 23, Ryan 31, together just 12 months before the wedding. Ryan had just ended a 5-year engagement to Alanis Morissette in 2007. Scarlett said planning their Vancouver Island wedding felt like doing a drug deal without all the fun. Surrounded by forests, eagles, whales, and bears, it was more Avatar than wedding. Paparazzi helicopters circled overhead. Samuel L. Jackson gave them 10 pounds of live bees with bee suits, inspired by Ryan's nature talk during the Spirit. Scarlett said the buzzing was so loud they couldn't think. Friends noted little warmth between them. Scarlett told Cosmopolitan there might have been a rivalry, unhealthy for her independent nature, while Ryan wanted her to drop everything for him. An insider called him controlling. By 2009, Scarlett told Time Out New York they had no time for dates, just work and staring at the walls before bed. They split in December 2010. No public drama, just a slow unraveling from a rushed start. Leighton Meester and Adam Brody dated nearly a year undetected, meeting at Cantor's Deli in LA as he exited and she entered with Gossip Girl castmates. Their connection came via Josh Schwartz, creator of The OC and Gossip Girl. They started dating in early 2013 after the Oranges, taking a secret Bangkok trip. US Weekly broke the news on February 6, 2013. They got engaged that November and married February 15, 2014, by the ocean in Northern California. No press, no photos. US Weekly learned 3 days later from anonymous sources. Adam confirmed with a casual, yeah to paparazzi. Leighton didn't want a wedding, tired of dressing up for cameras. Their son, born in 2020, remains unnamed publicly, showing their deep privacy. Jesse Plemons and Kirsten Dunst met in 2015 on Fargo's second season. Within 2 weeks, Kirsten knew Jesse was her lifelong partner. After ending a 4-year relationship with Garrett Hedlund, she began dating Jesse in March 2016, quietly. By January 2017, they were engaged, but waited over 5 years to marry in July 2022 in Jamaica, far from Hollywood's glitz. Their sons, Ennis Howard, born May 3, 2018, at 8:16 a.m. at Providence St. John's Health Center in Santa Monica, and James Robert, 2021, came amid their patient love. On Power of the Dog, pregnant with James, they kept work separate, not speaking between takes. Kirsten joked about Ennis's name, worried it could be teased as penis with a P. Their engagement shocked fans. They'd kept it so quiet. Colin Jost and Scarlett Johansson married October 19, 2020, in secrecy at her $2.8 million Palisades, New York home. They announced it via Meals on Wheels America's Instagram, showing a Staten Island ferry with "just married," asking for donations instead of gifts. Everyone took multiple COVID tests. Scarlett made just 2020 face masks as favors. Colin's relatives in their 90s attended, defying pandemic fears. Scarlett joked they'd just live forever. This was her third marriage, after Ryan Reynolds, 2008 to 2010, and Romain Doriac, 2014 to 2017, but Colin's first. He proposed in May 2019 with an 11-carat pear-shaped diamond. They met in 2006 on Saturday Night Live, dating 11 years later. Their wedding was heartfelt, humorous, and authentic. Jordan Peele and Chelsea Peretti's romance began quietly in 2013 via a Twitter DM after Jordan admired her online work. Friends, including Andy Samberg, vouched for him, telling Chelsea he was a solid guy. They got engaged in November 2015 during a family talent show. Chelsea tweeted about it, laughing, with LOL emojis. They eloped in April 2016 in Big Sur with their dog in a Hawaiian shirt by Chelsea's Bouquet. The officiant, named Soaring, stunned Conan's audience when Chelsea shared it. Their son, Beaumont Gino Peele, was born July 1st, 2017. Chelsea never planned on marriage or kids, but Jordan rewrote her story. He called marriage his life's best part. They keep it simple, dodging Hollywood's glare. Daniel Craig and Rachel Weisz's love hid in plain sight. They met in 1994 in a London play, Les Grandes Horizontales, with intimate scenes, but were unknowns then. Craig married Fiona Loudon. Rachel dated Darren Aronofsky for 9 years. In 2010, they reunited on Dream House, playing a married couple, and sparks flew. They wed in June 2011 in New York with 4 guests: Craig's daughter Ella, Rachel's son Henry, and 2 friends. Craig grinned, "We got away with it. We did it privately." In 2018, Rachel, 48, and Craig, 50, welcomed daughter Grace, with steely blue eyes like her dad's. Craig cut back roles to stay home. Rachel said sharing their marriage feels like betrayal, avoiding red carpets. They didn't reveal Grace's name until 2024. Rumors of strain from Craig's Bond shoots and drinking never broke them. They stayed close, quiet, and real. What do you think of these secret Hollywood romances? Share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Check out the video on your screen before you go.